there everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. I'm going to be bringing you a couple of ideas using Glitz glitter gel and specifically our Simon Says Stamp mini rainbow Glitz glitter gels. I'm going to be using them today along with some products from Pretty Pink Posh, including their adorable butterfly background stencil. In today's video, I'm going to show you two different ways that I think are a unique alternative to applying the Glitz glitter gels than in the more standard way. These ideas are going to give you two different results. We're going to have more of a distressed application, and then we're also going to have a very light application. So on my desk here, I have the Glitz glitter gels from our Simon Says Stamp mini rainbow collection. As you can see, there's a nice rainbow assortment of colors. And then I also have the butterfly background stencil from Pretty Pink Posh. I do recommend using pixie spray for your stencil because this is a bit delicate. I'm also going to use Simon Says Stamp inks, and you can see I tried to pick colors that would match really well with the paste. I'm going to start first by ink blending a background using the inks. I'm using Cherry to begin, and I'm going to start working the colors onto my paper, which is Simon Says Stamp 120 pound white, and I'm going to work those colors from one corner up to the other corner. So we're going to get a diagonal pattern of rainbows across this paper. It's going to look really pretty. The colors that I'm using today, if you're interested, are linked below in the video description as well as over on the blog. So be sure to check that out if you want to know all the colors and also see still pictures of the photos and more details about the cards. So once I finished up the blending, I'm going to lay the stencil on top and we're going to start finger painting the stencil with the Glitz glitter gels. I know some of you aren't a huge messy crafter. You don't like to get your fingers messy, and I get it. It is a bit of a messy project. So if you're going to do this, I would recommend maybe wearing a glove. What I'm doing is I'm taking the Glitz glitter gels and taking the colors that correspond with the rainbow colors underneath, and I'm applying these pastes through the stencil. And as you can see, by doing the finger painting application, we're getting a really variegated application. We're getting a lot of heavy applications in some spots and then almost nothing in other spots, which is really cool. It creates a very unique distressed effect, and it's gathering around the corners of the butterflies really well, so it's giving this a very chunky and dimensional finish. Now I'm going to reapply that stencil after cleaning it onto some white cardstock again. This time we're going to ink blend through the stencil instead of adding the ink blending onto the cardstock first. I'm going to use those exact same colors that I used for the first card, and I'm going to work diagonally across the butterflies to create that rainbow background. To do the ink blending, I'm using Simon Says Stamp blending brushes, and I'm working on the Tonic Studios Crafters mat. This is a magnetic platform that wipes off really easily. Once I have all the ink blending complete, I'm not going to remove the stencil. Instead, I'm going to leave it applied, pull out some blending foams from the Tim Holtz mini ink blending tools. These are the round ones. And we're going to dip our blending tools into the Glitz glitter gel and slowly work on building up a layer of paste. But if you notice, I am not dragging across the stencil. I don't want to blend the paste onto the stencil. I want to dab it. And what it's doing is it's very gently adding a light application of paste on top of my stencil. And by working in this manner, we can really control how much paste is going on. I want a very delicate application here. So by going very light, I know it's a little tedious, but by going very light and slowly across the background, I'm gradually getting the application that I want. And I use a different foam for each color. You could wash these off after using them so that way you can preserve them for this technique again. If you do let the paste dry, however, on the blending foams, they're not really reusable again. Okay, so now that I have the paste applied through the stencil, I'm going to peel this off, and you're going to see now we have the white areas, of course, left behind from where the stencil was applied, but we get this amazing glittery effect that's very subtle. Now I'm going to use a couple other Pretty Pink Posh products today in these cards, one of which is the Scalloped Borders die set. I thought it would be fun to have a unique border along the side of my card. So I die cut that border along the left-hand side, And then using my Tim Holtz mini trimmer, I'm going to trim this paper down so it's slightly smaller than my A2 card. Then I'm going to use some foam tape to pop that panel up off of that card. So we have a really unique panel here that's going to serve as the main focal point of the card. Now I have some Simon Says Stamp black glossy cardstock. This is gorgeous cardstock for sentiments as well as many other techniques. But I really love how rich it is for die cut greetings, and it die cuts so smoothly. I'm using a Simon Says Stamp glue stick to stack a bunch of die cuts together. I die cut that Hello Friend from both the glossy cardstock and then also just some plain black cardstock so I could layer that up underneath the glossy, just to give it a little bit of lift and a bit more sturdiness because this is a very delicate die. I'll use craft tacky glue to attach this only on the right hand side of the word friend because this is going to be hanging off on the other side, so I don't need any adhesive on the left hand side of the greeting. So I love how this adds a nice shiny finish to the greeting, almost looks like it's been heat embossed. Now for the other background, you can see here it's completely dry. Check that out. I just love the shimmer and shine of this, and I love the texture too. What I ended up doing with this background is I stuck that inside of an edge-to-edge shaker. If you have never seen an edge-to-edge shaker card be created, check out our Simon Says Stamp YouTube library. We've got lots of videos showing how to do that. I pulled out two greetings. One is the Love You So Much, which I used on the shaker card. And then I pulled out the Well Wishes stamp set and stamped a couple of greetings onto some scrap pieces of cardstock to add underneath my two large black die cut greetings. To embellish this card a bit more, I did decide to add a few sequins on here. Obviously, the shaker card has tons of sequins, and I love how they look. Those little reflective hearts in there, those are from Pretty Pink Posh. They're really pretty. And I love how these colors paired up so well with the colors in the background. And then this background, you can see how totally different it is from the vibrant and very intense glitters on the shaker card. This one's a bit more subtle and very, very soft. I really like how both turned out. They both show you how you can utilize the Glitz glitter gels in many different ways, not just with an application of a palette knife through a stencil, but by using your fingers to create a new look or using an ink blending tool to add very small amounts. Either way, you're going to give your stenciling a completely different look than the palette knife application, which I think is really fun. So I'm curious, of the two cards that I made today, which one did you like most and which one are you going to try first? I would love to hear, so please be sure to leave a comment down below in the video description so that I can hear what your thoughts are, because I'm really curious. Thanks so much for tuning in today, friends. I am so glad you stopped by. I am looking forward to bringing you more inspiration. But until I see you all again, I hope you all have a sparkly day. Bye!